And welcome back to I Can't Believe This Is a Podcast. It's been a while. One might even say it's, well, I haven't talked to you guys since last year.
That was
best joke of 2023 so far.
All right, who do I have here? Who's talking to me?
Who are the voices in my head? Well, I'm Roho.
And I'm Chimik.
And it's just the three of us.
Yeah, it's just the three of us. Everybody else left. They said this podcast so 2022. I didn't know what they meant.
One of them is pre-gaming for the Destiny 2 expansion that's going to drop next month, and when that happens, we really won't be seeing them.
Yeah, that's the end of that. I gotta go make films. I can't make video games anymore. He's our only coder.
Soy Boy will not be joining us for a while. That is my bet.
That's my fat 50 prediction.
Next time we see him, he's gonna have all the golden guns in the new expansion. Like, everything's max leveled. He's gonna pay an extra $60 to buy the expansion twice.
Yeah, the only gun skin he's gonna be missing is a sense of pride and accomplishment. And Dev is also absent, so we're gonna kick open the new year, 2023. Just the three of us.
Yeah.
What did you guys do for New Year's?
Had some family come over. Flew all the way out from the Cali land, from La La Land, and flew down here and had a good time. I wasn't first time in a minute because I guess college dorms and all that, working in film and stuff. First time in a minute I've spent both Christmas and New Year's with family, which is great. Just been chilling. Some would say too chilling because
some might say bing chilling.
Some I can't even see him. God damn it, it's not. Fuck! I can't be the only one laughing.
No, we all. Yeah, another joke.
You're right.
Who are you talking about again?
You're so right. Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Well, Butcher, though.
Ever since the last podcast, which was quite a bit ago, I mentioned that by now, hopefully to God, I'd be finished with my Catherine animation. Well, guess what? I'm not. I've procrastinated my entire winter break away from school, and I don't know. I don't know. I just keep looking at it and going, "You're a dumb little fucking stinker," but at the same time, it'll get done. I have no doubt. Rojo, what have you been doing?
Let's see. I've been reading a lot. I've been playing a couple games.
We're all so perfect.
Jesus Christ. Okay. I mean, yeah, I know. I started reading a lot. Some poetry books. Getting back into manga. I feel like I never was truly into manga.
I would have never admitted that, but okay, pop off, King.
Not even Batman would have gotten that out of me.
Hey, Jules, yeah? I think I just doxed Chimik, so keep a note to bleep myself. Please.
No, wait, no, I missed it. Could you say it again, please?
Say my name and my address and my existence.
Yeah,
I got it. I
just doxed his IP address. No. Chimik, the same one who goes on rants about JoJo for 30 minutes, is the same person like, I would have never admitted that I was never into manga.
That couldn't be me.
Anyway, I've been reading a lot, just trying to get, not inspiration, but just
trying to grow your brain,
Yeah, trying to get big.
Trying to be better than everyone else.
I'm going through a phase, Mom. I think I'm gonna grow my brain out.
Yeah, I'm growing my brain out right now.
I'm not your little boy anymore.
I just finished the game, but first I want to hear what Jules has been up to.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm very vindictive. I'm incredibly.
Look.
Mm-hmm. What have you been up to?
Well, now I won't say it.
Oh no! Come on. Speak in front of the class. Don't worry. I won't do it again.
Fine.
Anyways, so what? Yeah, dude.
Not much. I've been working on my EP. Took a little bit of a break because one of the songs needs some recomposition. So I've just been writing, getting better at bass specifically. I'm getting better at recording, producing, mixing, that kind of thing.
Does the audience
Mostly in
know?
small.
Does the audience know you're working on an EP?
It's I might have mentioned it briefly, but if I haven't, it's basically when I was in college, just a couple of classical guitar pieces that I composed. So I'll be recording them properly. Very, very small arrangements for some of them, but they're mostly solo classical guitar repertoire. Yeah, it's just a short EP, 5 songs. But like I said, I'm taking a little bit of a break from one song in particular because I really got to figure it out. And I also just need to kind of brush up on my recording chops.
Yeah.
So
Not lose your little
that's
mind.
what I've been up to. Oh, we're well past that.
Not let the voices take over.
Audience, it's been me this whole time. I got 2 suck puppets on my left hand, on my right hand. They're talking to each other.
Can you imagine if like we were the voices inside Jules' head and that the audience is just hearing Jules talk and nothing else, just responses to unbodied voices?
He's the most talented ventriloquist.
He is the most sane music producer.
You really are. And compare yourself to Jeremy Soule, right?
Oh god.
Women do things to me. That is why the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim has one of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
Okay, buddy.
All right.
Jules,
outside of that,
Jules might be the sanest Coldplay stan right now.
I can't believe you fucking said that.
Why must you admit so many things on public?
But you don't succeed.
Oh wait, hey.
Well, we're
I've been
all
listening
Radiohead
to
stans.
this goes to both of you, and I'm really glad only 2 of you have appeared because I figured
Yeah.
out fuck our entire what is it
Life,
called?
yeah.
Our life, our entire topics we had ahead. Because 2 of you are here. You know why? I've been listening to better Coldplay for the past month.
Better Coldplay? What
Oh, yeah.
Better Coldplay Soul or whatever
Better
that show was called.
Coldplay. Well, by that I mean I've been listening to I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo.
I'm so like trying to wrap my head around better Coldplay. Oh my.
I'm just trying to be topical for nothing.
Wait,
I've been listening
I'm actually,
to.
yeah. Fuck the other topics. What have you been listening to?
Okay.
boy.
Okay. Let me break this down really quick because I'm willing to tangent and I have 2. What are they called? Predator? No. Yeah, that's right. Radiohead fans here.
2 Predator missiles aimed at your address right now.
Name the wrong album, asshole. I've listened to Pablo Honey. I haven't listened to much of the Bends. I can't lie. I got to listen to that. Just only a couple, and then Jules told me all the songs I listened to were dumb, so I was like, okay, fine, thanks. And then
I did not say that.
Wait. It's Jules is also a Coldplay stan, so his taste is a little skewed.
his taste, the water's been tainted, is what you're saying.
Yes. Whenever he types out beautiful, he types it out like Coldplay
With a Y? Like the Javier Bardem film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, what songs on the Bends did like? Which
No, that's what.
Oh,
Jimmy
it's just
said
literally high and dry. That's I'm basic bitch right now.
Oh yeah,
I listened to, and also on that note, I found it kind of weird that Jules kept asking me to call him Zools, and then I finally got it. Fucking Milo Xylo. All right, hey, I listened to Kid A, Amnesiac, and obviously Jules' favorite, fucking
and my favorite
I
too.
don't even remember. Moving next.
Literally,
Rainbows.
the title of the song is the album art. It's in rainbows.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Guys,
I mean,
do not Google nude Radiohead. Worst decision of my life.
do not Google Chimmick at liveleak.com. Okay. Then obviously the one that the Sailing to the Moon is on, the newer, or I guess the last one.
Hail to the Thief.
Yeah, no, the other one, the newest one.
Moonshaped Pool.
Moonshaped
Moonshaped
Pool
Pool
is the album.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A mood-shaped pool.
A mood chicken.
Okay.
Wow. So
Well,
you skipped over all the fun parts. You skipped over King of Limbs, and you
I
skipped
did not-
over
I-
skipped over Hail to the Thief.
Whatever, man.
Bush is bad. Boohoo.
Oh yeah, boo-hoo, bush bad.
Raindrops, raindrops, raindrops,
Roho,
raindrops,
do you have any idea?
raindrops, 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 raindrops.
Sit up, stand down, stand up, sit down.
sit up,
Huh?
sit up, sit up, stand up.
Shut up,
shut
Brian,
up,
shut up,
shut up, shut up.
shut up. Could I give a horrible take really quick?
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
All Jules told me was, "Oh, that's interesting," which I feel like is his language for fucking shut up. Amnesiac is my favorite album. I quite like
literally
it.
never said that.
That's
I this dingus is putting words in my mouth. I said that's unusual.
It's
You
crazy
said it was
how
bad.
if it's
My
recorded
favorite,
and you
one
don't.
of my favorite songs is packed like what is it? Packed like sardines in a tin can. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite.
Fuck you! Yeah, I'm kidding.
I mean, Pyramid
No, you know
Song
what I
is probably
said?
my favorite one off of that
Pyramid
one.
song. Pyramid song.
Yeah.
is the best.
Shamik said that he really liked. Was it called pole revolving doors? Pulled
Pulled
revolving doors.
pulled pork.
Pulled pork revolving doors. Yes.
I just told him I like the meat, but I don't know. I said papa. Yeah.
I mean, like after did you? Okay, so this
Okay.
comes back to games. Did you ever play the Kid A exhibition from the Epic Games Store?
That's next on my to-do list.
Yeah,
So I'll tell you exactly
after
how I
playing
got
that-
into it.
Before
okay.
playing that, I never really had that much of an appreciation for Amnesiac. Like I listened to it, but like after playing that, I appreciated a lot more of the songs. And I think
Oh yeah.
Jules, have you played through it? I remember you waiting until a
Multiple
PS5 because you
times.
didn't want to sell your big chilling information to China.
Yeah, I really did just play the How to Disappear Completely and National Anthem rooms over and over again.
Yeah,
The National Anthem one is just like a room with like it's got like amber jello in the middle, and you go inside the jello. And
yeah. Although
that's all
like
it is.
I don't know if you felt this, but the most disappointing room for me in that one was the Idiotech room because it never played the full. It was just like the stems of it,
Yeah.
and
So the way they did it is how they were originally going to do it. Originally, Radiohead and I think Stanley Dornwood is his name, and some other event planners wanted to make this a physical location in presumably London. And just logistical reasons and probably the pandemic, they couldn't do it. So someone approached them, presumably someone from I don't know, Epic or that one developer who's in the credits, whose name I don't remember, approached them to do this. And yeah, so a lot of the rooms aren't just the song as you know them. They have the stems,
yeah,
the different instruments for each song, and they have them blended and prepared and arranged a little differently to make for a more interactive experience.
Yeah.
So some of the songs, as a result, they don't play out.
yeah. They
Right,
don't. I
if
mean,
that makes
Idiotech
sense.
doesn't play out, but like
Yeah.
it didn't do it for me based on the other songs that like How to Disappear Completely, like you said, that one that
That's mind blowing.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll mention this, and I think it's a good. I won't veer too off of this, but I probably should have phrased this in a way because it's to work this in a way because this covers all my base for what I wanted to come to the podcast to talk about. So my introduction to Radiohead didn't have anything to deal with the Kid Amnesiac first person game, which I don't know if it's VR or not. I've done a little research, but maybe it's a mod. I'm not entirely sure, but I know that is on Epic Games, you guys mentioned. My introduction was a lot different. I heard Jules talk about it a lot, and it's hard to exist and also like rock, also without hearing a word or two about Radiohead and Radiohead this and Radiohead that. It's also a lot harder to just be a person and not know Creep. I mean, like, even if you're like, I don't fucking know anything, and then you just like, oh, that song. Like, I heard it at a grocery store. Like you just, everyone knows fucking Creep. It's that song. It's you are that guy.
You are
my introduction was a little different. So on the topic of my Catherine video, I was procrastinating super hard because I was working on it, and then I didn't. And then one night I was like, oh, I'd like to make this game I've been thinking about for a while. And let's blah, blah, blah. Let's do this. And then I was staying up till like 3, 4 a.m. and I'm like, you know what would really help with my psychosis? Let's get the audio form of that. So I just finally went on Radiohead. I think it was a recommendation or something. You know, they Google pulls from the black void to recommend to my ears, and I check it out. And it was Pyramid Song. And then after that, it was How to Disappear Completely, or an analysis of it. Then I actually listened to the song. Then it was Nude, All I Need, Videotape, Sail to the Moon, Everything in Its Right Place, No Surprises, Weird Fishes, Knives Out, Pyramid Song. Dear God, everything's amazing. How to
You haven't even gotten to my favorite song yet. Jigsaw Falling into Place.
Come on.
Yeah.
You can't not listen to that song.
It's a good song. I like it. It's not one of my favorites. I like it. Look, hear me out. From that moment on, I've been listening to Radiohead just about every day. I'd like to play the VR thing, but I mainly just using
strangely enough, I've stopped having sex. Women have stopped talking to me.
People fear me on the streets. Yeah,
My girlfriend doesn't look at me the same way anymore. Anyways, no, look. I've kept playing the game. I kept listening to Radiohead, and as of right now, by far, as you guys just mentioned, my favorite song is Everything in Its Right. Not everything. How to Disappear Completely. But in terms of re-listenability, like I will go back to it from time to time. Is between 3 songs, and that's Knives Out, Nude, and All I Need. Those are the 3 that I always come back to. Yeah, I don't know. I like those songs. I think Amnesiac is my favorite album. I can easily recommend In Rainbows to a lot of people that want
especially
to
if they like Coldplay.
Yeah, especially if they like Coldplay. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I've merely listened to it. I have not lived in it, Batman.
Yeah, the next step is to listen to all their little side projects, and aka all of Johnny Greenwood's musical scores from his movies. Then they're like their little
symphony.
Yeah, and then their little side bands like Atoms for Peace or just the Smile, which I bought their vinyl for.
Yeah.
Damn. I like delving into something new, especially something as revered as Radiohead, even though I've never really looked into it. So this has been a fun trip. I'm gonna keep checking it out, keep doing my thing. But I feel like no matter what, I'll always come back to the things that I love. It's hard not to do that, I guess. Like as a person, it's just hard not to like want to listen to shit you always listen to. But I'm trying to veer away from that, trying to do new stuff. Try new things, procrastinate from work. You know what it is.
Wait, did you just say, oh, I'm going to stick with what I know, and then immediately follow it with, I'm going to try new stuff?
Yes.
And then when I procrastinate from the things that I know, yeah, absolutely.
But
this is going to come back to bite me in the ass.
No, it's just, I'm just being shitty.
I know, it's all good.
So, you haven't played, just to re-clarify, you haven't played the Kid A Amnesia experience.
I gotta try it out.
Give that a shot. Put it on your short list.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be the last thing that I do
before I freaking die.
Before it ends, all of it. No, I'll get to it
before I banged my last shingling.
Before I dink my last doink. Look,
sooner later.
The Kid Amnesiac is not the only thing that I'm probably going to add to my add to cart. We're already past December. This has been a month of fucking very gracious sales, despite the fact that Epic Games sucks dick and only gave me 3 games. I wanted more! I'm like a baby little toddler
they gave
rattling
you Bloons TD6.
Yeah, Bloons TD6.
Thankful.
The definitive Bloons TD.
Look, I already have a fortress in my house shooting little monsters outside. I don't need it in my games. If I wanted that, I just go outside my house. Dear God, FBI. Oh, whatever. Okay, listen. Look, we've been blessed with all these sales that have been going on all December long, which are fucking gone, bye done now. I gotta ask you, what have you guys gotten this December?
Ooh,
It's like
Rojo, you
Southwest.
want to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Game wise,
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Never mind, Jules. What have you got?
No. because base game is still being sold for $20, but if you pay $20 for this game, you're a fucking dumbass because it's always on sale. And
You heard it here first, loving audience. If you pay $20 for Euro Truck Simulator 2,
well, yeah, if you pay,
you're
if
a dumbass.
Yes, because it's always on sale, and I got it for 80% off. I think oh shit, yeah. Sorry, I'm playing.
He's double checking it. Now it turns out he paid over $1,000.
Well, I think with all the DLCs, I think it is worth $1,000. I think it's $1,000, but I think I paid like $4 for like a good portion of the DLC that is available.
Do you work for Big Truck or something?
Yes.
Big truck.
Yes. I'm BBL. No, baby. I'm getting my CDL.
Oh boy.
But yeah, Euro Truck and got Jedi Fallen Order on sale.
Nice.
Even though I've played it before, but you know I wanted it on PC. And
Solid.
yeah,
True.
that's pretty much it. I haven't really bought any games because I have the Game Pass for PC. So, and then one of my roommates has the PlayStation Premium Game Pass, whatever it's called. So like that kind of covers like 90% of the games I want to play. So,
It also covers
I get
Jedi
that.
Fallen Order, just FYI.
yeah.
Well,
What about you guys?
For me, dude, I also got Euro Truck Simulator. By that I mean I got Death Stranding for free. That was nice. That was a major colossal fuck up that I feel like everyone and their mom knows about when it came to like Epic Games and giving out free games. They just goobered in the morning, and then about 30 or 40 minutes in they undid it, but they didn't do anything right by the people who like got a deluxe version of the game for free, and then somehow it just wouldn't pop up in their library. Like there's some shady shit, I guess. But for me, you know, apart from all this mega epic stuff, very epic, I got Scott Pilgrim vs. the World for like a couple bucks. That was really nice. I got a lot of stuff for the Switch. Surprisingly, I got I got a decent amount of stuff on the Switch. What was the most? I mean, like I got Octopath Traveler. That's a lot of fun. It's very, very inspiring for me for what I want to do, and it has been since it came out, and I've never owned it till now. I rebought Tekken 7. Inshallah, brothers, I'm getting my Meta Quest 2 soon. So,
Meta Quest, have you met a girl?
Did you buy the new not the new JoJo because it's a PS3 game, but like the
I know about that. The one that was on the VGA awards. It was on the list for like trying to get a best action or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I think it's a fighting game.
Yeah.
What's the
no?
game?
I did not.
Also, All Star Battle R.
No, I do
I
not.
really
own
thought you were going
any
to say
JoJo
PlayStation All
games.
Stars.
That is the single most surprising thing I think you've ever said, Chimik.
I don't own any JoJo games. They look really fun. They're just not my thing. I'm very.
It's a
despite the
fighting
fact that
game.
hold on. Now hold on. I'm a whore for a lot of things. Let me just start my let me start my statement off like that. But the one thing I'm surprisingly picky about is my fighting games, sir. I'm a basic look. I'm a little bit basic when it comes to fighting games. I like my Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I'm basically calling out all the people listening to this shit. Like what are you calling me up? I'm
played Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, I have.
Get that shit out of here.
I know, but I'm incredibly particular about like the games that I love that I will spend thousands of hours on, and no, I will not buy your DLCs despite the fact it would make me very happy. One being, and Jules can't get enough of this, UFC 4. I will not talk about it anymore. No comments. Thank you.
Yeah, you what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
With this
Anyways,
fighting games and then he chooses an EA title.
Literally better than anything ever. Fight me. Okay, then It's Tekken, of course. It's Tekken. I mean, how could you go wrong? Tekken 8. I'm literally fucking crying over here.
Taking a shit right
and
now. Yeah.
Third Strike, Street Fighter 3. It's a baller. It's a bop. How can you go wrong?
Have
with
you
it?
even played Absolver? Forget Sifu.
I
He's
don't
the guys
play-
who made Sifu.
I don't play any games
Absolver
with an
is-
A in it. That's just not who I am.
Oh, I guess you weren't playing Armored Core then.
No, I know.
I changed
no,
my
that's-
mind.
God, the game of the century. You guys are gonna love this. Then it turns out to be Armored Core, which is actually a big hype thing. I'm glad it wasn't fucking Dark Souls 4.
Now, I know you said this in our big 4-hour live stream. I missed it. Did you say Jeff was tearing up? before
Oh
they
no,
revealed it was Armored
I
Core?
must have been very drunk or something, or something.
I can imagine that. It's just crying. In this next game,
No, it's because he was so into it. He okay, tune back to check it out real quick. I'm sure if you guys saw the
metal
VGAs
bobots.
to our big bobots. To anybody who watched the VGAs, if you guys remember before the announcement of Armored Core, didn't Jeff Keighley look like he was about to tear up, describing the most world-renowned, critically acclaimed, fucking dog ass, the greatest ever thing ever. And then it's
Bloons
like,
TD7.
and then I was like, oh my god, is this gonna be fucking? And this is FromSoft. I'm like, is this gonna be Dark Souls 4? And then I'm like, oh, this is gonna be this. Is gonna be the
Bloodborne 2.
Bloodborne 2,
I
actually.
wish.
A blood cart. And then it was Armored Core, and I was super psyched because I grew up playing 4, I think, or was it Armored Core 4, the one for the 360? I played a whole bunch. I played a whole bunch during when I was a teenager, and to see it come up again, that's hype. Yeah, it was 4. To see that happen, to see personally, I just hope there's gonna be some Gundam shit in there, hidden, you just unlock those fucking mechs. I really want to see that. I'd like to see where they take it forward, and if hope to God it's available for the PC. That's all I
Hopefully.
want. That's all I
and
want.
in a better running state than Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes.
We'll
Absolutely.
see. They had a little interview with Game Informer. The way that they're planning it out, it's going to be linear. Well, as linear as FromSoft does, somewhat linear missions, and the emphasis is building your mech. So customizing it your way, min-maxing, whatever. But it's all about the mech as opposed to the world,
God, yes.
which is, I like that a lot. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And if they have a multiplayer emphasis like they did with Armored Core 5, then that could be a fighting game. That could legitimately replace a UFC,
Fuck you.
Yeah, easily. I mean, most things can. Bloons TD6 easily trounces all over UFC.
Yeah, Batman, the multiplayer edition.
Yeah, Bloons TD6 definitely has a better balance system than UFC 4.
You're so fucking right. You've never been right. Let's look past this. Actually, no, wait. Hold on. Who hasn't gone? Jules.
I
What'd you
haven't
get?
Hey, that.
So during
never
the
mind, I don't
Steam
wanna know.
sale- I didn't get that much. I got a puzzle game that they had a free trial of Apple Arcade.
Mhm.
So I did that, and one of the games I really liked was a puzzle game called A Monsters Expedition, and it's a Sokoban style game. Sokoban is the name of a game. I forget the name of the developer, but they've created this whole genre where you're just moving blocks around, and that's the whole gameplay. And
It's not
it sounds
just
simple,
Catherine.
but
Oh.
pretty much. I basically just played Catherine. But the gist of it is you are pushing trees on islands, and you can push them horizontally, vertically, but you only have so much space. I sound like I'm just staring at a sheet of A4.
It sounds like you're describing Minecraft.
this hip, trendy hipster game called Mineral Crafting. So I got that, and then I also got Psychonauts 2. If I need to explain why I got Psychonauts 2, then you need to get your head checked. It's quite good. And then after that, I got Signalis, which wasn't even on sale, but I'd like to talk about it. Briefly, of course. It is a sci-fi survival horror in the vein of, it's 50-50, right down the middle between Silent Hill and Resident Evil. It's got the gameplay of Resident Evil, and it's got the sort of themes and dream logic of Silent Hill, with the aesthetic of like Silent Hill 1, so like a PS1 game.
It's like Silent Hill 2 without the cock and ball torture.
Yeah.
It's like Silent Hill 1. Oh, so like Silent Hill 2. Yeah.
Oh man, we can't forget about Silent Hill 3.
And I was pressuring Shimmick to play it, which I still am, by the way. But
Yeah, we got to
without a
pick it
doubt,
up. We'll pick it up.
A little bit of a disclaimer: if you've already played Silent Hill 2, and on top of that, if you love Silent Hill 2, I can.
Then I
definitely
love
see...
you.
Come here. I can definitely see how Signalis might seem a little derivative. There are parts of it that are like blatant homages, but overall, it is a fantastic experience. That is the only game this entire past year that I actually sat down and played for 8 hours straight. I sat down and I played it for 8 hours straight, and that wasn't like a game completion. Like I sat down an additional 2 hours the day after to finish it. It had me completely hooked. Funnily enough, not because of the story. I like the story a lot, but the gameplay is what got me. They have the perfect limited inventory. You only got 6 spots, but the way that the entire game is structured and the way that everything's paced and sort of situated physically, like in the maps, 6 inventory slots that adds like a whole new layer to the game. That wouldn't be there if they just give you like an infinite backpack or something. So that was definitely one of my gaming highlights, and we'll roll into that topic soon, 2022 gaming highlights, but just ending off what I got for sales, I got that. Yeah. Oh, I also got Sifu. I really don't like Sifu. That's just me though.
Did you like Absolver?
I love Absolver. I don't like Sifu. I think the reason why is Absolver is entirely like it's a deck building game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Sifu uses joystick combos, which is something that I am physically just not capable of. I could barely manage it in Ollie Ollie World, but I can't do joystick combos where it's like you know tap up twice and then hit square, like that kind of thing. I suck at that. So that's probably why I don't like it too much, but that's a me thing. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about 2022 highlights, I think you just mentioned one of mine, which is Ollie Ollie World. For a good couple months, me and you were like hooked on that strain of dopamine, because like opening up the next topic, gaming highlights of 2022 doesn't have to be a game from 2022. No, but just a
thing that you played.
Things I remember from 2022, definitely early on. When like
number one
was Ollie Ollie World, which came out like in March,
February was stacked.
Yeah, February, March, and yeah, it was stacked. But like Ollie World wasn't like competing with like the big names. It was like it's a casual game, right? It's you pick up on the surface, and then when those leaderboards came out and you saw the fucking shit people were doing, and then you were like, my life is fucking gonna be dedicated for the next 2 weeks to just grind.
The first time I ever broke a controller was a week after Ollie Ollie World came out.
Oh jeez.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
Was it a PS4 controller, or did you?
It was like my 7-year-old PlayStation 4 controller.
Okay.
Yeah, I said, I threw it on the ground. I looked at it and I was like, I think I'm done playing Ollie Ollie World for a while.
Yeah,
you don't understand. I was gold, but every the way they do it is like every day is a new online challenge. Much like real life, every day is a challenge.
Yeah.
And there are leaderboards, and it was like coming down to the wire. And I was trading first place with some other dude who was constantly, getting a new personal best on their side, and then I would get a personal best that was higher than theirs, and vice versa. The last hour before the challenge was going to swap out for another one, and I didn't get it. And that's when I stopped playing Ollie Ollie World for a good long while. But before that happened, I was playing every single day. Every single day. And I think the thing that Ollie Ollie World gets really right, just from a pure, like, the facet of games that like people who don't usually play games can understand and like feel, is just the level of quality in game feel, like the connection between you and whatever it is you're controlling on screen, and just how like responsive it is, and how tactile it is, like whether it's the haptic feedback or like the audio visual feedback. Ollie Ollie World just nails it. It feels so smooth to control. And again, like I said, I have some issues doing joystick combinations, but I can like barely manage an Ollie Ollie World, and it's just rotating the board, landing things. Like the more accurately you hit the land button as you land, the better your score and the better your multiplier. And another thing I really like about it, Rojo, I want to hear what you like about it, or if it's the same stuff. But the thing I like most about it is that, unlike Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, if you don't really fail a level. Instead, 99.9% of players are just going to get a passable score that will let them move to the next level. But the dragon that you're chasing, the thing that you get high off of, is chaining together just 20 bullshit moves after 20 bullshit moves.
And then
so even though
perpetually holding down the triggers to spin.
Yeah, which was an annoying strat, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah, so you can spin by holding down left or right trigger, and you'll spin clockwise or counterclockwise. But if you really want to bust your brain wide open and develop like daily aneurysms, you have to like alternate between clockwise and counterclockwise in the middle of a combo.
Which Jules did, but like there is no in-game, like doesn't matter.
It doesn't acknowledge that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
no, it's about the principle, because you would see me on the leaderboard alternating between clockwise and counterclockwise rotations, and everyone else was just holding one direction. And even though I would get like second or third place on a daily challenge, you can watch the replays of people on the leaderboard, and because I was always so high up there, people would click on mine and they'd see like, oh, this guy's like got a problem. Yeah. Ollie Ollie World is fantastic. This is a great way to open up February for sure, and like the rest of the year for that matter.
Yeah, but then immediately afterwards in that month, something else came out, didn't it?
Yeah, like several other things.
I was talking about the big one.
Sifu, Dying Light, Horizon.
Oh, wait. Did Elden Ring not come out in February? I thought
I was just about to say Ebenbing.
Ebenbing? Yes.
Ebenbing? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to? Hold on. Before we go any further, why don't we just? I feel like we're going to go month by month, but I don't even remember when things came out. So, just like a general pastiche of experiences. Yeah, February was really, really packed. I liked Horizon a lot. I didn't get to play that until later in the year, though. So yeah, Elden Ring would be the next thing on my list, at least. Shimik, I know you played it, but did you play it legitimately?
Well, let me ask you something right before we jump to. Are we doing like a year-in review?
No. I mean, on a personal level, like, what did you play? What did you play? What you play?
Like what?
Myself.
Like, not even like just everything you played. Just like what do you remember playing? Like certain times of the year. Like for me, like February for me was just sitting on the sofa, fucking monkey brain. Jules and I just like fucking trying to grind out gold for one day, and then just 24 hours later, just all the progress just going down.
Ollie World fucked me up so bad that I re-downloaded Trials Rising, and I got even more upset at myself.
I was just gonna say I've hit this peak of like deving in our podcast where now everybody around me is asking, "What do you remember? Do you remember anything? Do you remember Chim? What do you remember?"
Yeah, Chim, you remember Final Fantasy VI?
I don't remember nothing. My brain don't work so good. Look, my thing that was a whole highlight of last year was gaming wise. Honestly, it was pretty recent. It was Final Fantasy VI. That whole experience, that whole game was fucking magical. It was next level. It was something really unique. It was really different from what other games I've played could really ever offer. I finally get what a lot of people mean when they put it on the top of their like top 5 leaderboards of best ever like Final Fantasy games, calling it like the probably the greatest JRPG. I get it now, especially after playing Persona 4, which it was, and I guess from like a character writing perspective still is the best JRPG, but there are elements of Final Fantasy VI that's kind of untouchable. Which I won't really go far into. I just thought that was a cool ass game. Last year though, Ba 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 ba. You know, that is a great. You know, it's funny. I was just doing that whole joke of, do you remember anything? My answer is no. It's, I don't. I really distinctly don't remember much from last year besides it being a grind. But yeah, Final Fantasy VI was what stood out to me the most, and that might be what is it called, like relevance bias, recency bias. But to be honest with you, just even standing right now and comparing it to just objectively to the other stuff I played, that is some that is some good games. Other media though, and Rojo and I were just talking about this before the podcast even started. I've been on a Satoshi Kon binge, and Jules has been for a decent amount of them, at least for two. I have watched officially Perfect Blue, Tokyo Godfathers. Me and Jules watched Paprika and Magnetic Rose, which Satoshi Kon wrote or did the script and the writing for. And I think bits of the storyboard as I was looking through. That has been incredible. It's actually in a lot of ways, because that and going back to like the other Miyazaki stuff I was looking at, it's kind of changed my gears, and I'm really interested in making some more like animated 2D animated content, especially past this Catherine video. I'm interested in seeing what I can do with that, and you know, I think like it's interesting. This is a tangent I can go on later. For sure, I'll go on later, but I'll just state for now that working on this thing for a hot minute, at least since this podcast started and bringing it up, that you know, a really big thing that I was thinking about towards at least the middle of development was like, can I mean, the answer is of course, but my stupid question was like, can I write anything new? Like, I want to make something new, but like I keep working on this one thing forever. Can I make something new? And watching things that are like really new, really cool, and especially considered masterpieces, you're like, yeah, I might as well fucking just try. I mean, that shit's cool. But yeah, those two things, Satoshi Kon and fucking Final Fantasy VI, are wicked. What about you, Rojo? What sticks out for you?
2022, like I said, Ollie World, Elden Ring, getting back onto a Dark Souls grind for a good couple, like I think until the summer.
Which Dark Souls?
Which one?
No, like Elden Ring, and then getting back into that Dark Souls grind, like that, like every single day you're going back in and you're like fighting the same boss until you defeat that boss.
Every day you're going back in, you're farming that one goddamn chicken over and over again.
Yes.
And then you're reminded that Chim modded the game offline, and he didn't have to deal with any of
the chicken.
Yeah. And then sprinkled in throughout the year, I've gone back to Hades, which like has like slowly but surely become like top 3 games for me. Just
holy shit.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that.
Because like if you were to ask me right now, I like off the top of my head, it is recency bias where I've played Hades more, but like I just like think about it. And like I just like the combat so much, and like just the replayability, and like the whole different, like there's 6 different weapons, and each one of them have 3 different styles of play that you can do, and like I don't know, every game has its flaws, but like for me, I've been playing it for so long that, you know, it just, the flaws in it just like go away when I play it. But yeah, 2022 doing that. Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, that was gonna be one of mine.
I don't know if I like it as much as the first, like the 2019 reboot, but it's definitely better than the last 2 games that they put out.
I think as an overall package, it is, no pun intended, infinitely better than 2019. The campaign is a little worse, but then again, the Call of Duty campaign's never really been
I think for me it was a sign of the times where Modern Warfare 2019 came right before the pandemic hit, so like there was no other reason not to play it, versus right now there's so many games that came out like this year alone or last year alone that like
yeah, like Overwatch 2.
yeah. No, but there's other good games that came out this year that like there's less of a reason to play that game.
Yeah,
And grind it.
I set myself the goal of like grinding Modern Warfare 2 up until I got the Fennec, which is their name for the Vector 45. And then once I got that, I just play it like casually every now and then. But as a first person shooter that I wouldn't invest time in, but something that I really like to just hop in and out of occasionally, like I would with a game like Risk of Rain.
Yeah.
Where it's like every time you play, there's no like, again, once you hit your own personal goals, there's no progression to shoot for. You're just playing because, whatever. I really do like Modern Warfare 2 a lot for that. And I actually really enjoyed the campaign. The story was whatever, but the gameplay was like actually excellent. Each mission was very varied. There were only 2 duds, and they were each like missions that took like 5 minutes. I don't know, audience, if you've seen the pictures of the Amsterdam level. That whole mission you can finish in like 120 seconds. It is so bullshit because it looks so good. And
well, I think it was a tech demo in the middle of a game. It's like, oh, look,
yeah, but it's
look at the city. Look at these
Wow.
NPCs moving around. This is a real city. We're never going to use this in any other game. But
and was it worth it? Because now they're getting sued by the hotel that owns the Amsterdam hotel that the multiplayer map is based off of.
yeah,
They're like, well, they're not getting sued, but the hotel themselves has said, we are considering legal action, which roughly translates to, you are going to give us so much money, it is unreal.
yeah. I think the thing that gets me about this Modern Warfare 2 versus 2019 is that the weapon progression, like if I saw this one video where if you wanted to play with the PP Bison, which is not called the PP Bison, which is a whole nother thing, is that Activision with its infinite money didn't want to pay the licenses for these guns.
Yeah, the AK is called like the cast off or something.
Yeah,
jerk off. I don't
but
remember.
if you want to play with the PP Bison, you have to play with the first base gun until level 13, and then you have to play with that gun until level 13, and then another gun until level like 15, until you can unlock the one that you were wanting to play. Like you had to like play with 4 different guns up to a certain point in order to just unlock that one gun that you wanted to play with.
That's why I wouldn't recommend playing it for like if you really want to sink your teeth into a multiplayer game with like progression, with the intent of progressing through that progression. I don't know that I would recommend MW2, but if you just want to casually hop in and out, then it's absolutely a great game for that. Absolutely. Disclaimer, shitty things happen to Activision Blizzard King. There are honest people working there. Support those people if you can. I don't know about Diablo 4, but as far as Modern Warfare 2 is concerned, it's been a great game even months after its release. So, fingers crossed they don't screw it up. I would.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I was just gonna ask. Jules, did you mention your year in? Like what was the things that popped out for you?
So Shimmick, basically what happened is Ollie Ollie World came out.
Yeah.
And then Horizon Forbidden West came out, and I really wanted to play it, but I'm what do they call it? A graphics whore. So I bought it, and I said I will not play this until I get a PS5, which is exactly what I did. So that's later in the year. But basically what happened is Ollie Ollie World, and then Elden Ring was like when you smear Vaseline over your eyes and you spin around in a circle. You know that thing that people do? That was Elden Ring in my mind for the entirety of February to August. And then August hit, and Cat Game is love, Cat Game is life. Stray Baby. It is the world's first Stray type game. You play as a cat, and it's developed by French people. Need I say more?
I mean,
It's a good game.
You're not wrong, but I also only played that in one sitting.
Well, I mean, you can finish it in 5 hours.
Yeah.
So Elden Ring, like I said, sorry for being like a weird schizophrenic slam poet. Elden Ring took over. I didn't play anything else except for Elden Ring between February and like July or August. And then I think Stray came out in August. Is that right? And I played that around there, like late summer. I really like that game a lot. it it's a debut from an indie studio, Blue 12, Parisian. They mocapped a cat. It's the new they performed surgery on a grape. They mocapped these cats, and they voice acted these cats as well. They had 3 cats. They had 1 cat for motion capture or catcher. They had 1 cat for voice
Can't believe
acting
you just said that.
or voice catting, and then they had 1 cat that was like their moral support. They just had a cat that would like peek over people's shoulders and make sure they were working, which I thought was cute. Yeah, so it's just really wholesome. Like the game itself and then the story behind it and how it was made. Yeah, they animated that cat to look like a cat. I mentioned this before in an episode or something, I don't remember what, but when the cat, your player cat, like turns around, like if you 180 the joystick, it's not like a cat in an Assassin's Creed game where they'll just like, they'll just like T-pose and face you. Like it's hard to describe, but it really feels like there's like a spine and like a skeletal structure in the cat that like obeys the laws of physics. And when you jump up and down from stuff, the cat like slinks like a slinky. Yeah. Going back to the like what I said with Ollie Ollie, the idea of game feel, and sort of like visual and haptic feedback. Stray's another game that did that really well this year. I think it really makes you feel like a cat, And then after Cat August,
Jules got to live up his cat girl fantasy. That's what I'm hearing.
No, I got to. I'm surprised you brought up like Cat Girl Fantasy instead of Cats the Musical.
And now available on HBO Max.
Oh god, they're also coming to well, I'm not going to say where, but somewhere on the East Coast. After that, also kind of much like what Shimik said, kind of a blur. At some point, I did actually pick up Horizon to play it properly, and that is my personal game of the year, just for a variety of reasons. The narrative kind of falls off a cliff, but the characters are well written. The voice acting is like Sony standard. It's a PlayStation first party game. Graphics are like insane, and yeah, I sound like a top 10 most insane graphics you will ever see. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's kind of like hyper realism. Like they could have just stopped at making it look realistic, but then they went on top of that and they added like hero lighting, like spotlighting on main characters, like cinematic lighting for when there's a dialogue happening. They have like a very tasteful motion blur, that kind of stuff. Just makes it pop. Yeah, and then God of War in November, and ultimately I think I like the game, but I was disappointed just because I don't think it was well paced as 2018.
Also,
that's
Jules
about it.
Does
though.
not like to be treated as a child by his games.
Oh yeah.
Unless he's talking about Little Big Planet, which apparently is not a game for children.
No, it's not. You wouldn't understand. No, the also mentioned this in a previous episode, and this is where my year in review ends. God of War's stupid help system isn't actually a problem for the whole game. I was really frustrated when I brought it up the first time because I only played for maybe 4 or 5 hours. At some point, they actually do stop doing that, which is kind of weird because they do it a lot for like the first 4 or 5 hours of gameplay, and then they just don't do it for the rest, like the last 19. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a good game overall.
Was there like a phantom patch? Do you think that they heard you and they were like, "Oh shit, we gotta patch this out"?
What, just for me specifically?
Yes.
I'd be flattered. Probably not. I think what it is a lot of people played 2018, including people who maybe weren't into either that kind of game or that series, that franchise specifically, the God of War one, and so they had a lot more people waiting for Ragnarok than they did for God of War 2018, and I think they just wanted to open up the doors a little bit more, make it a little bit more accessible on the front end. That's my guess. At least that makes sense from a design perspective. Just having like the first 5-ish hours be heavily tutorialized, so that those new people who hopped on because of God of War 2018 kind of get the gist and flow of how Sony Santa Monica is like, wants you to play their game. That's my guess, at least, because the rest of the game doesn't have that hint issue at all. The main issue the game has is pacing. There are beautiful, beautiful moments in that game, both character moments and like visually, cinematically. And they're also like holy shit moments. Like I can't believe like, oh, that's what that was. Oh my god. And then the problem is all of the thread and sinew in between each of those moments just sucks. Like you'll have a insane holy shit moment and then another insane holy shit moment, and in between those two moments, Atreus is like living in a 90s sitcom or something. Without spoiling anything, that's the best way I can put it.
What's the deal with Odin? Backtrack. Boom, 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 boom.
Thor? No, I don't hurt at all.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's my year in review, at least. Whole year. Yeah.
Well, I was just curious because Rojo, there's one thing you didn't mention that got me a little shaken.
Yeah.
Got me a little sweaty there, buddy.
I finally
you mentioned Catherine there earlier, Buttercup, and then you also mentioned Game Pass. Now,
choose your next words very carefully.
Now, if I connect the dots,
I finished Persona 5. Basically.
Now, yes. Okay, that is now. Hold on. Before we jump in, before my heart rips out, I want to stay in this like little state of whether, oh, geez, was it good or not? Now, hold on. That's 100 hours plus. That is like 90 hours plus game right there. That is a pretty, like, in terms of a year in review, that's a chunk of a game, unless you play like defense strategies or something. Like that is a pretty, or fighting games for that matter. It's a pretty long game, narratively wise and all that. What
do not ask me what anybody's name is, because I do not remember names easily, especially Japanese names. I recognize them only by their character art. So
you spent 100 hours with each character.
yes, but
no, Chimik. He spent 100 hours at each character.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, hold on.
But like 100 hours reading, though.
That is true.
That's fair.
Yes,
that is fair. Okay.
That is the one thing, is that I think I know Royale has a lot more voice acting than base game. So that was the one thing I was kind of salty about, was that like I knew I had access to both, right? So when I started it, I decided to do base game first.
Good.
And if I wanted to do a second playthrough, which God forbid, I sink another 100 hours into that game.
Let's hear how this goes.
A threat in the making.
The gameplay, the combat itself is great. It's one of my favorite. I liked turn-based games, like turn-based combat games as a kid, because I felt like that it was not simplified, but it was like, if like I could have time to make a decision and like, min max before I knew what min maxing was, and
Joker
like
gun.
But yeah, no, like learning all the different like elemental abilities for different personas and like combinations, and like who should I have in my party based on like, who am I gonna find and what palace and like that sort of thing. That was fun.
That's pretty good, huh? Going through mementos, just like, okay, let's do this. Let's get all these persona men, and let's make sure that I have at least one of each elemental power, so that I can beat pretty much anybody, or at the bare minimum, stun them, so that I can switch to a better character and just all out beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, and like strangely enough, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Like I think I played it on like base difficulty, and I think somewhere in the second palace, like I kept on dying, and I was like, this. I felt like I didn't feel like I was like under leveled or like something like that. I was like, I was going to class, I was becoming smarter, which is another, it's a whole nother thing. But like, yeah. So I put it on the normal difficulty, then I brought it back down initially, and then I just realized I was just being stupid, and like not taking into account like the whole like, oh, you really need one of every single elemental, like, or you need to like mix up your personas, your fursonas,
Yeah.
and do that shit. Like you can't just like brute strength this game,
Nope.
essentially.
Nope,
And
nope, nope.
my
You
monkey-
really can't. You really can't. You could, and I'm hesitant, but by God, this has become a Persona 5 cast ever since you mentioned it. I don't give a shit. It used to be the case, especially with Persona 4. As a matter of fact, the one thing that I can guarantee you, if you pick up another Persona game, which I still don't know what your review is, but we'll hold off on that. Look, if you wanted to pick a Persona game where you just brute force through everything, but now that you got a taste of like, hey, be smart with it, maybe you won't want to, it's Persona 4. Like, you just need a really good damage. You just need to tank through everything. That's literally the best way, because everybody dies. Everybody dies in Golden with just a tank just attacking them. Like, I got through that game like with nothing, and then some parts of like 5, especially 3, just through the skin of my teeth. Like
yeah, so like gameplay wise, like that aspect of the gameplay wise, I was very much like into it. The other aspects were hit or miss, like the daily life, like
okay.
I mean, like, okay, so like in relationship to like manga and anime, there's like shonen and shoujo and like the other different forms. I felt like it was a shonen about action, like it was like a it was as if I was reading two different arcs at the same time.
Interesting.
A battle arc, and also like a daily slice of life arc, and it was like,
Okay.
I was just doing the daily slice of life arc in order to go back to the combat arcs.
So
'Cause,
you're
like-
that okay? That really helps. That really helps, because here's the thing: no matter what, this is like the baseline for what a Persona game is. It's a starting from 3 specifically. It is a calendar sim.
Yeah.
That's what it's been since Persona 3, and that's what it's been since they fully transferred into a 3D game with P3. It is a calendar sim game where, and starting from P3, beyond like the shonen stuff that you described, like a slice of life, like what you do in each day in school and jobs and meeting with people, S-linking, which by the way, I'm curious who's best girl, but we'll get into that in a second. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. The important thing is that it also builds into the gameplay. Hey, you have literally till this day until the fucking monster appears. You better be strong, because then you're going to have to restart the whole game, P3 or Persona 4. You have this day until until the TV like turns on the midnight hour. You literally have 1 month. You better be strong enough to fight this boss. Then it's like Persona 5, you have this day to get their heart. Like it's built into the gameplay too that it's a calendar sim.
Yeah,
But I also get it.
I mean, I like the urgent. I like the urgency, like the built-in reasons why you only have X number of days.
Yeah.
To beat it, like you can't just like, over level yourself and then go into the palace and piece of cake. Like you have to like, be diligent in attempting a palace as far as you can, going back in, improving yourself, and then going back in, and then if you find the treasure and whatnot.
That's where Mementos comes into play, and it's very unique for the series, I must say.
Yeah. But if you want to know who Best Girl is, which apparently
okay.
Apparently I talked to other Persona fans, mainly one because there's not many.
He talked to me. I'm kidding.
I picked Futaba.
You fucking pedo.
What the fuck? That's exactly like I picked Futaba. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know why. You're going to jail, Mr. Tate.
Okay. Wait, whoa. Dude, okay, who was your best girl then?
Okay, well, since you ask, it's Futaba, and I'm kidding.
Oh
They're all
god.
underage. They're all okay. Unless you pick your teacher or the doctor.
Yeah, it's the teacher. Of course, it's the fucking
Oh my
teacher.
fucking
The
God.
answer will
Okay,
always be
no.
the teacher.
Oh
Bro, you
my-
just gave him an
Pussy on speed dial? Are you kidding me?
Oh my god, that's
Are you
so
kidding me?
fucking disgusting. No, the whole okay,
I'm
so
disgusting.
Look,
I'm
wait,
disgusting.
let me.
You're taking advantage of this poor motherless girl.
Let me go on this tangent real quick. Let me take on. In The Witcher 3, one of the first.
I don't want. No, I don't
no,
care. I don't care already.
Shut up. One of the.
I don't care already. I don't care for your opinion. I don't even care if you give it a 0 out of 10. You just said Futaba's best girl. I don't give a fuck.
Shut up. Shut up. Okay, first, in The Witcher 3, the Red Baron side quest is one of the most memorable early quest lines in The Witcher 3 because it's so well written and like
yeah.
the
'cause
twists
it's
and
about a
turns.
baby, right?
Yeah, it twists into the Epstein Island because that's where it ends.
But
Okay, sorry.
And then
Go on.
I relate the Red Baron side quest to the first tutorial palace with the volleyball teacher because like the twists and turns in that one, just sets you up for the rest of the game, even though it is essentially just a tutorial palace, but like it's just it's just fucking crazy. But like the whole point of that palace is that the guy is a fucking pedophile, and yet you and then you punish him. You're like, oh, bad. Don't fucking why are you sexually abusing your? Not it's not implied or it's not stated explicitly, but I think it's implied that he at least like
The volleyball teacher. I mean, it's visually pretty explicit.
that he sexually
say
abused
anything.
them or just like sexually objectifies them.
Well,
I don't know.
definitely the latter.
Yeah,
for sure.
like don't sexually objectify your students. Yet you're gonna tell me that you're gonna sexually go after your teacher who is doing the same thing to you.
Man, all I'm saying is that okay, here, let me give some.
We open with Radiohead. Now this.
I've lost it. I've
that's
truly
not
lost it.
me.
Yeah, that's
I
not me.
float down.
Look,
Okay,
I'm
and
one
then-
worse
and
than
then-
you.
and then-
I'm
and then-
one
and
worse
then-
than you.
Wait, no, I'm not
Okay.
finished. GB.
No, I'm not either.
No, and then one of my favorite gaming series of all time is also the Mass Effect series. And what I enjoyed about that is that you can essentially romance anybody versus in this game, I don't know if Japanese people are just like straight up just homophobic or like you have a million different girls, yet some of the most interesting characters in that game are the guys.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
that's just how it's been. It's just that
Yeah, like
it's
the
been
volleyball
what
teacher.
it do. Look, hear me out. I'm way worse than you. I've dated every single character in that game. I've 100%ed that.
Oh
in the
my
sense where,
fucking
like
God.
I've dated
How
everybody. So
many-
trust
How
me,
many
trust me.
fucking
My
playthroughs is that?
just 2. So look. It's
Wait,
not.
No, you've 100%ed each relationship in like
Yeah, S-Link, all of them.
it only took two playthroughs
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, and both were vanilla, not vanilla. Neither was new game. I've never played. I have played a bit of new game for the vanilla, but when I got to Royal, I knew pretty much everything I needed. By the way, here's a little trick in case you haven't done this or you didn't know about this because I didn't until I played Royal. And I need to check up on this because I could be dead wrong. But in your party, in your personas that you carry, you have like a limit. Obviously, it increases for throughout the game, how many personas you can hold on one thing. But did you know that you can that if you have a persona, like each persona is like there's a lover's persona, there's a there's just about everything, moon, fucking the sun, everything. If you equip the same persona that you're going on an S-Link with, whether you're dating them or not, just these people that you're S-Linking with, if you carry the same one that is their tarot card, you get double like XP, meaning you don't have to wait through the bullshit before you get to the next part of their S-Link so you can upgrade. Did you know that?
I think they mentioned that.
They did. I just completely skimmed through all of that. That's why I played 3. I played 4 the once. I want to play it again. I played Golden, but I had to play through 3 a bunch of times to get all the endings before I realized that. But with Royal, yeah,
did it all. I even did it because there's a new semester that they add, and I'm not going to give my thoughts on that because the Persona fan base is quite rabid. In a good way, but in an also I don't want to give an opinion way.
So
yeah.
Overall review.
Oh,
I like the combat.
okay.
I like the overarching story. I like
Cool.
I like, you know, each of the different palaces had their own like thing, right? And like the final bosses for, you know, each palaces were like
Do you like
very
the S-Link story? Sorry. Yeah.
Yes and no. There were
Okay.
some of them that there were some of them where like their benefits, like I did their S links for their benefits, like I used them essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was other ones where I was like, oh, I kind of want to see what happens. I can't name you who. Obviously I did for Jabba's, but yeah. But I would have to say overall it's a good game. It's just it takes so long and it's so time consuming that like if I like this is what I did. I put it down and I stopped playing for like a week, and then I picked it back up, and now it's like essentially, where the fuck am I? Like, what the fuck was I doing a week ago? What was I working towards? Oh yeah, maybe like the progression is so like linked to the calendar.
Yes.
Where like
absolutely.
where like it, for being a game that's 100 hours, it really, it almost forces you to do it consecutively. Like, just sit down and like, this is the game you're going to be playing for a month and a half straight.
Yeah.
And I don't really like playing games that way. Like, I like to pick up a game, play it, and set it down and not get fatigued from it. I think around hour 30 or 40, I got fatigued, and like I was like, I just gotta stop and like pick it back up in like 2 weeks, because like it not repetitive, but like it got a little tedious.
It doesn't fit everybody, and that's the thing that I can't fault anybody on it for the Persona series. It really depends on the type of person you are. You can put it down and pick it up because the overarching story, which you like, is always there. You're not going to forget what your whole goal is as you're going through it. You're not going to forget this.
All the S links and like all your 20 different relationships. All the 20 different relationships that you have to fucking keep like a fucking notebook to like figure out where you're at with each of them.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not on top of that and you just slip up and like stop playing for a week, you're gonna forget where you're at with all of them until you like replay it and you're like, oh yeah, that's what we're at in our relationship.
Where I'm at with Persona is I mentioned this in the previous podcast, I don't like turn-based combat games anymore. I did at one point. I loved them a lot. I even think same on the same wavelength as Rojo here, that you know, they did such an interesting thing with it, like the elemental, this Pokemon thing, and it's just, you know, there's just a point where I'm more interested in the story, and I'm really glad you mentioned that context. Like, what type of gamer are you? Like, what how do you play? What is your play style? What do you do? Do you play a game the whole way through, you know, one game only, or are you the type of person that like, hey, I mix and match, I don't want to get fatigued, I want to play different games as I'm playing this one game, so I'm not heavily invested? I'm the former, not the latter. If I play a game, I will not play any other game. I will just sit down and play it all the way through till I beat it. I'm fully immersed the entire time. And I'm not saying that people who don't do that aren't that, but like, that's just me. I need to be fully immersed in this one thing. I don't want to think about anything else, and do it. And that's why I think I turn away a lot of games, because like, if it's not there and I don't want to invest that time, I just won't. But with Persona, that was definitely that for me. On the note of like the calendar thing, that I think that, you know, as I mentioned before, I think that no matter what, the story will always be there. The problem will always be like calendars and what you got to make sure you got to remember, because, oh God, what happens if if like on this day who's going to be there, do I want to make sure that I S-link all of them because there's only a set period of time. Well, here's the thing.
Oh, who do I want to go on a date on Valentine's Day? Oh, shoot. Man.
Oh, that was a fucking terrible decision for me. I went with Miss Kawakami, of course, best girl ever.
Like, I can't believe that he's like, oh, you're a fucking pedophile. Meanwhile, my pedophile fucking my maid, my personal maid, who I can call for free pussy on the reg.
Look, man. I'm no worse than you, dude. I've dated everybody in the game. I'm literally worse than you. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking around. It's a really solid game. I would say that you know, if that's the case, I think that there are definitely other games that are more you know, there's a lot of story going on, but action focused, especially like just the combat itself, the gameplay itself, that I would recommend aside from Persona. But to be honest, 3 and 4 just might not be your thing. I think that potentially you'd enjoy 4, especially at a higher. I say if you can get your hands on 4 Golden. If that's on Game Pass or
that is on Game Pass,
it will be, or it's already on it.
It's already on it.
I say pick up Golden, put it on a harder difficulty, just like hard, whatever's one above the one that you're playing right now, and just play through that. I think you're gonna have a really great time. The whole sim thing of like, oh, what person, what day's there. I want to make sure that I beat all of that before, you know, I never see them again because I want to S-link that perfectly. That'll still be there, no doubt. But like, yeah, it's just, I'd say give that a shot, because if that's not going to do it, then definitely 3 is not. There's no way you're going to enjoy 3. 3 is 100% all the things that I think you don't fully like about 5.
Is 4 the murder mystery one?
Yes.
The fucking ring one where like they put on a video, like turn on the TV and then it's like spooky things show up.
Yes, it is in fact Scooby-Doo, the Pokemon Detective Power Mystery of Friendship. It is absolutely that one. 3 is I'm not gonna say that. 3 is it's just depressing. I don't know what to put. It's so fucking sad. It's sad, the game. There, that's my descriptor. If anybody played 3, fucking tell me I'm wrong.
2, I think you fight Mecha Hitler. Is that right?
No, that's 2.
That is 2.
And you don't even fight Mecha Hitler. You just fight Hitler. He is Hitler. Hitler with sunglasses. Yeah, but that's interesting to hear your take. This is the first time I talked to somebody in a while that's actually beaten the game, like in person, that I know. It's
they beaten it what in their mind? How was when they beat the game?
No, I haven't talked to anybody in person. Like I've talked to a
box.
lot of people online that have beaten the game. I've talked to some people in person that have started that just didn't want to go through with it. But you're the first person that I know in person that has also beaten the game, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a first. So it's interesting to hear a different take. I'm probably good. I might replay 5 vanilla, but I think I'm good. I think I've played all the Persona that I could want. I'm still trying to convince Jules over here. I'm saying we should stream it. But I'm guessing after this review, he's going to be like, fuck that.
The reason why, I mean, if I play it, then whatever the episode is after I finish, it's just going to be entirely Persona. I was going to say, yeah, anyone that Chimpika's talked to that's either like, they've either beaten the game, they've started it, or he is actively trying to convince them to play it, and I'm one of those people.
Yeah. He's one of those people.
OG, not Royal, because reasons.
I won't talk. Yeah, I can, but I'm not.
No. That's
I'm
quite
not
right.
gonna. I'm good.
That's not me.
Look, I don't want to get us all fucking demolished by the Royal fan base. There's a surprising amount of people that fucking love Royal, and I can't blame them. It's just I'm not one of them. I guess you're just never one of the cool guys.
Persona 5 royal pain in the ass.
Yeah, but
edition.
when are they gonna make Persona 6?
Fucking right now. They're
Persona.
literally
Persona.
developing it right fucking now, and with the same
No,
director
no, no,
of
no.
Royal and Full Body.
No.
They're teaming up with
Persona.
From Software.
Oh no, I
Persona.
heard you.
Armored
That's
Core
exactly what it
6.
is. I'm kidding. Well, yeah, fucking, that's cool. It's good to hear that you finish it. What's on your agenda? What's your agenda? Where are you gonna take this? No, what's next on your list? What are you already playing right now, and what are you interested in picking up?
Well, what am I playing now as we speak? Euro Truck Simulator 2.
God, yes.
Why? Because I like driving sims. I really like driving sims. Racing sims like F1 and Dirt Rally for competitive, scoreboards and leaderboards, that sort of stuff. But like, I just there's another one where I think it's called City Driving Sim. Like that one is just literally what it sounds like. You just drive around in a city in different
Dude.
cars.
Don't you have a car?
Yeah, but yeah, but like you can't really crash into other people and like
Not with that attitude.
well,
I guess you can't. The city driver, does it let you like drive in other cities, like other
Yeah.
cities,
Yeah.
like Hamburg or whatever?
yeah, that sort of thing.
Okay. get that.
But there was one game in the Video Game Awards where it was I had not heard anything about it, and then I saw the trailer, and I'm super invested, but I forgot what the name was. It was a 3D game, but the pigs
Among Us VR.
No, but the character art was like 2D sprites.
3D game. Was it like in the style of Octopath or one of the like Live a Live?
It looked like it was like post-apocalyptical. Like,
Replaced.
Yes, replaced.
Yeah.
I don't know what about the game, but like it looks cool. And
there was a game called The Last Night way back as far as like 2015, 16 that debuted on Xbox's stage at either E3 20, I don't know, 15 or 16. And some stuff happened with that developer, and long story short, that is a one-man show now. I think it's just one dude making the game himself. So in the meantime, there have been other games to come out with that same art style, because up until The Last Night, there weren't really games that utilized a very fluid camera with pixelated characters and like fully 3D environments.
Yeah.
So since then, Replaced was announced, like I think year before last, and then that showed up again at the VGAs. There's this detective game called Backbone, which is on Steam. But yeah, Replaced is I think it's Ukrainian, maybe. They were definitely affected by the invasion, so
Replaced the new Fallen Order game, something Survivor. I forget.
Just Survivor. I think it's
Yeah.
just called Jedi Survivor is the name.
Yeah. Jedi Survivor, which comes out in March. It comes out very soon.
Month after next, March. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Hades 2, if it
No one
possibly
saw that coming. Yeah.
which I think the beta testing for it comes out sometime very soon. Like I think they announced it in like April or March, if they've announced it.
For Steam this time.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Let's see.
But yeah, I can't wait to see what that goes. Because
All I know it's about Kronos. Like you're fighting against Titans now, I think, and you play as
Zag. You play as Zagreus' half sister. I know that much.
Okay.
So I wonder how he's gonna fit into the plot. Like, is he gonna show up? Is it gonna be co-op? Like,
That
can
would
one of
be-
you play as Zag and the other one as whatever the main protagonist in this one is gonna be called? That would be next level. Like, I'd love to see that. But yeah, those are the games off the top of my head where I'm looking forward to this year.
Nice.
Oh, Dead Space.
Oh yeah,
easily.
of course. Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Soon.
Not a
Soon.
shadow of a Callisto Protocol.
Definitely. This is a low dig.
Always will
Alright.
be.
What about you two?
Jimmy?
Jules, you can go first.
Okay, I see how it is. Dead Space. easily Dead Space. Dead Space 2 before I really invested my youth into Little Big Planet. Dead Space 2 is my favorite game. It was also the first game I got on PS3, and the PS3 was my first console that I ever had, like my first like home plug into TV console. So I'm looking forward to Dead Space 1 remake because I've actually never played the first one. Past that, there's this indie, which is actually, coincidentally, this is the first game that Donkey's publishing house will be publishing. It's an independent game called Animal Well. It's basically a puzzle platformer. I would highly encourage anyone interested to check it out. It's one of those games that seems like there's just a lot in it on like a secrets level, kind of like Fez, if you've ever played Fez.
Yes. Yeah.
So I won't say too much more. I mean, not that I know anything. The game isn't out yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And I also like the art style. It's like a very CRT pixelated look, which I like. Past that, Silk Song, which is funny because, you know, is that even coming out? Who knows? That's a speculative guess. I guess later in the year, Starfield? If it really is just Skyrim in space, then that's good enough for me. I
If
would
it even
have
comes
said,
out this year.
if it even comes out this year, and if Todd doesn't like shove it down our throats for free, we'll see. Game Pass, it's coming out day one on Game Pass. I would say Diablo 4, but man, they have quarterly updates over at Blizzard. And I think the most recent one, which was like December. Actually, no, that was about something wholesome. It was like Q3 of last year. They put out their whole blog post on monetization. It's going to be a $70 online only game, and it's going to have both battle passes and separate microtransactions. And after everything that happened with Diablo Immortal, or as Immoral, some people like to call it Immoral, right? I'm hesitant to give them any more money. I was even more concerned about getting Modern Warfare 2, but thankfully that turned out all right so far. And again, Diablo Immortal played good. It played very well. Going back to the game feel, right? The game feel was really tight. Like it felt really good to like cast spells or just melee attack stuff and like move around, considering it's on a mobile device. So I have no doubt that Diablo 4 will play well. And it might even have a good story in it. Graphically, it already looks really nice for the kind of game that it is. That just, like, how much further down is ABK going to go? You know what I mean? In all aspects, in their sort of developing integrity and the way that they abuse monetization practices. Like, I already stopped buying EA games, which is funny. I say that because of Dead Space coming out. Yeah, that I think, out of all the answers I could give, that's the one where I am flip-flopping like every day. We'll just see. I'm not trying to grandstand, although I think I am coming off that way. I'm really concerned that the good fun game that will undoubtedly be in Diablo 4 will be surrounded by a sea of shit. Because that's just the track record that ABK, Activision Blizzard, has had for the past, like, ever since they released the Warcraft remaster, whatever that was called, Warcraft Reforged or something. It's just been downhill. So
Okay.
That's my whole. What do you want me to stop? I got a couple more.
No,
okay.
go.
Yep. One thing I was considering doing, just because I don't know, like I just. When the Steam sale goes on, you're like, "Oh, this looks cool," and you
Of
buy
course,
it.
your
never
hands
play
get
it.
finicky, veins start popping, you turn into a werewolf. Those things.
Exactly, you turn into like a furry. What do they call them? Tamagotchi or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't remember the last 48 hours, and you check your Steam library, and you have like 30 hentai games. Definitely not speaking from experience. I wanted to just write out the games that I was gonna get this year, and obviously that means I'm gonna miss out on games that we don't even know exist, right? But I just wrote out a small list, and I want to just get those. And then if anything else cool comes out this year that's not on the list, then I will pick it up during the winter sale or 2024. So I'm just trying to find the list. Okay, here it is. It's Dead Space Remake, Silk Song, Animal Well, Oh, of course, another indie game that's kind of under the radar. Radio the Universe. Looked it up. Horizon Forbidden West DLC, the inevitable Elden Ring DLC, and that's it.
Pretty good list.
It's a good
Three
list.
poggers. Yeah.
On my end, not that much. But I am interested for whenever Replace comes out next year. I've been interested in that for a long time. It's my last hope of a last night, alternative game, since that game is never going to be made, or at least the game that game is being made, but exclusively by one person.
This year.
Yes, yeah. Replaced is coming out in 2023. I forgot it's already this year. I'm interested in Silent Hill 2 for the shits and giggles, which who knows when that's going to come out. I don't know. I don't even know. Who knows? Nobody knows. I'm, a little bit indecisive, but I do think that for the most part, I'm just interested in getting into, kind of like Rojo, getting into more mangas, getting into more media that I guess is like, pretty overwhelmingly, to be a Steam review here, pretty overwhelmingly positive, and just kind of getting into it because I haven't seen it. So I'm interested in getting this one gambling manga that is absolutely baller.
Oh my god, I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Yeah, of course. I've already read two of the books that are out. It's Kaiji. It's the Gambling Apocalypse Kaiji. It's
Wait, I think we're talking about two different ones, because the one I'm thinking about is the one where they're sexually aroused by gambling.
Oh no, that's Kakiguri Twin. That's the where the school. No, this is from the 80s. I've already seen that one that you're talking about because, of course, I have. But the Kaiji,
of course, I'm a degenerate.
Of course, absolutely disgusting. But Kaiji is an old one. It's super. I mean, it's funny, but for the most part, it's incredibly suspenseful. Considering, I mean, you feel like the character's gonna get out of it, but sometimes he fucking doesn't. And I'm 2 books in. I really like it. I find it to be super. It's just completely attention grabbing. I would like to do and see more media that's like that. Mostly, for the most part, the thing I'm the most excited for, it's not even anything gaming. It's just creating new shit. I want to make new films. I want to make new stuff and actually put stuff out there. That's really it for me. That's my year in. That's my year in hopes and wishes and dreams. That's really it, honestly. I think all my gaming hopes were crushed when the esports boxing club, the ESBC game, turned out to be complete shit. It's called Undisputed now. No offense, but I mean, and I'm just saying this alone as somebody who's observed it through the beta testing. It's such a crock of shit boxing game. The last good boxing game we had was when EA Sports actually cared about games. That was Fight Night Champion. And who knows? Dead Space looks good. Hope it doesn't go the way of the Callisto Protocol, because it's good and visually it's great and everything looks great. And if it stays faithful, it stays good. Maybe it'll be great. And then maybe we'll see fucking esports go, no, that's not how you make a boxing game. This is how you make it. It makes it Fight Night Champions too. like who knows?
Street Fighter 6 come out this year?
Yeah, that's not esport. That's not EA.
No, I know, but just in general.
In terms of like being hyped for shit. Great question. I know that a lot of stuff was leaked. I know that there's an absurd amount of stuff that's leaked, but it is coming out this year. The thing that I'm most hype about is the Tekken 8, which I think the release date could speculatively is like late 2023. Earliest 2024, but nobody really knows, or at least I'm not well versed enough to know. But in any event, I am excited for a whole bunch of fighting games, and just that's all for me.
Tight. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new year. I'm gonna add a I'm gonna add a very cozy, slightly different version of the intro theme song for episodes up until the end of winter season, so like end of February. Because, you know, I don't know where all of our listeners are, our two humans and the rest of the robots, the bobots, but maybe it's cold and chilly, so it's just a nice little thing I thought I'd do. Also, originally for the Christmas episode that we didn't end up doing, but I gotta get some mileage out of it. Yeah, Roho, thanks for joining us again. And we'll find out where.
If only
dead.
just to yell at Chibik to see who was the bigger pedophile when they played Persona 5.
Well, I'm glad we seasoned everyone's palate by opening with Radiohead. So when that conversation hit, it was like no one even blinked. Yeah, this is I Can't Believe This Is a Podcast. And we'll see you when we see you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.